Throughout the past 6 years, Brexiteers have constantly been on a single minded quest, an ideological quest to achieve the truest form of Brexit. Have you ever seen Blackadder, or at least Blackadder II, where Percy creates the lump of purest green? And have you never seen a more lump of pure green, my lord? Well, that's what these Brexiteers are still seeking, claiming we're still not true Brexited. And yet, this was the hardest Brexit that they ended up going for. And bear in mind, this wasn't even on offer in 2016. The Brexiteers offered a very, very light touch Brexit. It just goes to show you the civil upheaval and revolution and coup essentially that they plotted, and the destruction and damage they have done to the country over those last 6 years. Like I say, Rishi Sunak signing the Windsor Agreement and, of course, the Horizon recently. I don't like Rishi Sunak, but I'll tell you what, the Windsor Agreement, or at least the Windsor Framework, very, very much needed. Still not perfect. Still needs a lot of questions answering and stuff sorting out. And of course, it didn't sort out the Stormont situation, but to be honest, it never was. And then, of course, you've now got Horizon. But even the delay on rejoining the Horizon, as we already discussed just a couple of days ago, caused a lot of damage to UK science and UK researching as well. Like I say, if you were a scientist, you were either going to have to give up years potentially of research and start again from scratch because you couldn't be part of Horizon anymore, or these Horizon projects, or you moved. And moving was the optimal choice for many of these people. So we have actually had a big drain brain in the research sector here in the UK. So that is going to have a big impact on the UK. That is definitely for sure. But one of the big things that the Brexiteers always claimed, and unfortunately, as much as I like the civil secretary, the former, shall we say, Foreign Office chief coming out and saying this stuff, this is going to restart a debate from these Brexiteers about the fact that, you don't understand, it's the civil service who have been undermining and undercutting Brexit. And bear in mind, that's what this is going to be spun as, certainly from the right wing sectors, and of course the pro-Brexit headbangers. But in reality, you've got the former Foreign Secretary Chief saying it very, very clear in this article. Look, we were absolutely in mourning of the day of the results when they were announced, and we were absolutely shocked. He even said, and it had to come out and say, I didn't vote for Brexit, I voted to remain. And even the entire Foreign Office was perplexed and stressed about the fact of what they were going to have to go through to try and achieve Brexit, because there was no policy. We have said this since day one, going all the way back to 2016. Brexit is completely policylessness of it. It's, separate from the EU. Well, okay, how? How do you want to do that? What do you want to do? Where do you want to be at the end? Do you want to remain in the single market and customs union? All these questions that needed to be answered. And yet, that did not matter to these Brexiteers, who, as far as they were concerned, we need to achieve pure ideological purity. And it has been the single driving mission of these Conservatives. And as pleased as I am, to be honest, as this, highlighting just the sheer amount of problems that Brexit would bring, but we were warning about them. This will be spun by the right wing as yet another attempt to show, oh my, just look how politicized the civil service has become. We need to get rid of the civil service now, or we need to at least politicize the civil service so it does our ideological bidding, not anyone else's, which would cause a severe problem. Because even in this article, he says, yeah, everyone in the Foreign Office disagreed with Brexit, but we are part of the civil service. We have to do things regardless of the ideology that was put forward. And that is what they did, because that is what being a member of the civil service is all about. You might not like the policy that is being implemented, but it is your job to implement that policy. And that is what they did. So you're going to see a lot of people probably for the next 2 or 3 days accusing at least this former foreign secretary of undermining Brexit and being the big reason why we didn't get it. But no, I definitely do recommend that you sort of read this article. And of course, I think it's going to be on Monday night, I believe. Let me just double check. Yes, it's going to be on Laura Kuenssberg, called The State of Chaos. And it's broadcast tonight on Monday, the 11th of September, if you are looking for it, on BBC Two at 9 o'clock. So that is out there now. So that is what was out there. Like I say, unfortunately, smart move, bad move. Well, the right wing press are going to have a field day on this. I wouldn't be surprised. Tuesday morning we get a enemy of the people or enemy of the Brexiteers put out there. But this is, of course, by no means someone who is liked by that section of the party. Anyway, they do blame him for the downfall of Boris Johnson. But fair enough. Like I say, he's got that going for him. But yeah, this is going to reignite this whole conversation, as it always does, about when we see people from the civil service speak out about difficulties that they faced when they were in the job of, being asked to do these crazy, irrational things because they were being asked by fundamentalists to try and, put a square peg in a round hole. And no matter how hard they tried, they always were warning them, well, if we do this, there's going to be problems. How are you prepared for those those consequences? And I wouldn't be surprised tonight if more stuff comes out about that. It would not surprise me in the least if more stuff was to come out about this. But as always, unfortunately, this is going to reignite an argument, which doesn't need to be had. But the right are desperate to have this, so expect to see this used a lot by the right wingers to try and say this is why we need to do a purge of the Foreign Office or of the civil service, because they've become too woke, they've become too ideological. When you even have the foreign chiefs here saying, "Look, none of us in the Foreign Office agreed, but we are part of the civil service. It is our job to get on to do things. Even if we do not agree with the policy, we got on and we did our jobs." But of course, the Brexiteers will turn around and go, but we never got true Brexit. We never got our lump of purest green. It's only a slightly shader of green than we actually really, truly want. So, as always, thank you very much for watching. And of course, please do head down below to the comments to leave a comment. There's the like button, there's the share button, there's also the buy me coffee button, there's the Patreon page, there is the YouTube thank you button, and of course, there's the Pony Club down below as well. So thank you very much to everyone who does support the channel. And of course, as always, we'll see you all next time.